accepted game into the franchise. And that is, of course, I think you know what I'm talking about, a Zelda to the future. Don't you mean A Link to the Past? Who are you and how'd you get into my house? Well, seeing as how that game works, I'm you from the light world. That didn't close. So you're me, but from here? No, this would be the dark world. Unless, who's your president? Bernie Sanders. Yep, this is the light world. Why? Who's your president? Donald Trump. Oh, God. Is he still trying to build that wall? He's trying to. Man, I feel really bad for you. No, you don't have to be. It's just, it's just the president, But hey, at least we still have the Nintendo Switch in our world. You mean the Microsoft Switch box? The fuck? You just shot at me! You don't deserve to live after saying that. Asshole. Well, I'm stuck here. That's not a surprise, but good thing I always carry my Link to the Past copy on me, so now I'll have something to do. Fuck it, I'm using that take. This intro never gets old for me. So after the NES got its share of Zelda, what would the next generation have in store? Well, let's start off with actual in-game plot! Yeah, you still have the expedition when waiting at the title screen, but you have a setup and motive at the beginning. You see someone talking, your uncle, that's this guy, goes, "Hey, I'm gonna leave you and go do some shit. Stay here, you little fuckboy." But you don't stay there. You get out of bed, smash some pots, and leave because you're a fucking rebel! I really like the way this game starts out. You're not put into a world with nothing giving you your objective. You're given a path to follow as you're an adventurer. Who the fuck cares what your uncle says? You're gonna go out and see what's wrong because you were the one who had the mysterious voice telling him to go save someone. Not you fat fuck. I hope you die in a hole. After Link gets out of bed, smashes pots, and grabs a lantern, it was here I realized that Link had pink hair. I'm not the only one who thinks that's weird, right? I mean, the box art shows Link with normal hair, but the in-game sprites say otherwise. After being told to go save the mysterious voice, Link heads out in the pouring rain, trying to sneak into the castle. After using the secret entrance, we find out that Link's uncle died. No! How can I go on, knowing that you're gone? I'll always remember our times together. I'm gonna leave you and go do some shit. Stay here, you little fuckboy. So sad. Your uncle, that's this guy, hope you die in a hole. After your dead uncle gives you a shield and sword, you walk past him, leaving him dead in the dust. And Link seems to be really unfazed by it. Bye, uncle, sucks that you're dead. After sneaking around the castle, Link finds the princess and helps her escape. After leading her to the hideout and exiting to the world, you are given the task to search for the 3 ancient pendants in order to obtain the Master Sword, the blade that can get shit done. Hey, that's my line! Get the fuck out, Johnny, this ain't your place! After retrieving the Master Sword, Link heads off to Hyrule Castle to face off against Aghanim, the main villain of this game. Aghanim is trying to let Ganon escape from the Golden Land, a world that has Ganon trapped, but has also become very evil, so he can rule over the Light World. He does this by capturing all 7 maidens so he can have a link between the 2 worlds, and one of these maidens happens to be Zelda herself. When reaching Aghanim, we come to see that he has already captured Zelda, and is currently using her as the final piece to link the 2 worlds together. Once the bridge is created, Aghanim transports Link there, making him trapped. Or so you would think if it weren't for the magic mirror. This device allows Link to hop into the Light World after using it in the Golden Land, or the Dark World as it's known. However, that doesn't mean Link can just avoid the Dark World, as the 7 maidens and Ganon are still trapped there. With no time to waste, Link saves all the maidens and hurries to stop Ganon's plans. Not a grand story from a quick glance, but it's how it's told that's interesting. Everything is laid out to be told by a merchant or townsfolk, and is done pretty well. For one thing, you're not just told, hey, go get the Master Sword. You're told about it, how only the bloodline of a hero can pull it out of its tomb, how it's the bane of evil's existence, and that instinctively gets you to want to get the blade for yourself. It doesn't tell you right out that you're the hero either, you have to earn it. You need to show that you're the hero by getting rid of evil, and that's what's set up. Once you have the Master Sword, you're only halfway done. You still need to save the maidens and defeat Aghanim. It's one thing I can really applaud Link to the Past for doing. It gives this atmosphere that most modern games have a hard time achieving. But that's just the story. What about the gameplay? A Link to the Past has some pretty fucking good gameplay. Alright, now let me tell you. The game goes back to a top-down perspective like in the first game, but unlike that game, Link controls way better. He feels less stiff, and thank God he learned how to move diagonally. Not only can Link do that, but he now swings his sword instead of just stabs with it, giving you more range when it comes to hitting enemies. Link is also given a new arsenal of items, ranging from a hammer, to a net, to a fucking flute. Holy shit, there are a lot of unique items here. Link also has the ability to use magic items for the cost of some magic, and this changes everything. Magic items allow it so you have to know which enemies and which bosses are weak to each weapon. It also makes it so you stay equipped with shit like magic potions, and to make sure that your magic gauge isn't too low, because if you do, you're fucked! Speaking of magic items, these items can be used as a way to weaken a boss or make it a bit easier. However, does that mean the bosses in Link to the Past are easy? Well... Fuck no, it's not! You need to be prepared to face these bosses, because if you're not, you will get your ass fucked! You need to stock up on potions, fairies in jar, health in order to really stand a chance. And you may be saying, duh Tom, that's the nature of video games, you just need to be prepared. But having the resources to face the boss depends on the dungeon itself. It can either be really easy, allowing you to keep your resources, or really fucking hard. Towards the final dungeon, I kept having trouble of holding my magic. But that's also because I didn't upgrade my magic meter to begin with. I almost forgot, you can get a bunch of your shit upgraded by means of magic fairies, blacksmiths, or even just the fucking bat. This gets into the more exploration style gameplay in Link to the Past, as it's needed to find stuff. Whether it's heart pieces or a magic weapon, exploration is important in Link to the Past, and I can say, you finally can do all this without a guide. That's right, I won't be needing this thing. If you're the explorative type or know how to use your head, A Link to the Past can be a really fun game. The overworld alone has puzzles for you to solve, and they can really get you thinking. Speaking of the overworld, it has gotten a massive change since the first game, and it's fantastic. Traveling the world is not all that bad. Link moves at a reasonable pace, and I have no worry moving from one landmark to the next. I should also mention that the game also sports an in-game map that is actually useful, and will usually have your next destination marked on it. It's really a nice change of pace since the first game and its gray box of nothing. But let's get into why Link to the Past isn't just an upgraded Zelda 1. For one thing, you can switch between worlds in this game by means of the magic mirror or warp pads. Speaking of which, I should probably find a way home. Has that been there this entire time? Here goes nothing. Oh shit. Oh, that actually worked. Alright. Now, where were we? Switching between worlds is important in the Link to the Past, because what you do in one world can affect the other. Switching between worlds can also allow you to find hidden goodies, whether it's a heart piece or an item that's important. However, it's important to note that you can only use the mirror to travel to the light world and the warp pads to travel to the dark world, and it's kind of tedious because if you need to go to the dark world, you're gonna have to look around the world to find a pad. Some items you obtain may also be exclusive to one world, like the Super Bomb. And that's really it in terms of switching between worlds. Now, it may look small from a glance, but it makes a very big impact. Well, I've gone over everything there is to do, except for the final level. So after you rescue all 7 maidens, you head to the Tower of Ganon and break the seal keeping you from walking in. Once inside, you will be in a whirl of trouble. This place will actually fuck you up if you don't come equipped with the right gear. Potions are not enough. It would be smart to obtain all the upgrades you can at this point. And if you do tend to run out of hidden potions, you can find some hidden fairy fountains within the bombable walls. After you scale the tower, you face Aghanim, and this is what it all led up to. The final fight. The final countdown. He's dead. But it's not over as Ganon appears out of the now dead Aghanim, flying off to the Golden Palace. After falling through the roof, you now face Ganon, the king of all evil. This fight is not too hard, but it's not too easy either. Ganon's first phase, he will move around the room. You will be unable to hit him as he moves. He will also spawn fire bats after a few hits. His second phase will have him spawn one big firebird, but if you can hit him, he will instead break one side of the floor. After all sides are gone, the lights go out, and you need to keep relighting them in order to hit Ganon. It's also important to know that you can only hurt Ganon by slashing him with your sword and then shooting a silver arrow at him. After shooting Ganon 4 times, he fucking explodes and a room exposes, revealing the location of the Triforce. It appears that Ganon wished to rule over the Golden Kingdom, turning it into the Dark World, and was building up his power in order to conquer the Light World. Link then goes up to the Triforce and makes his wish, letting the people live in peace within the Light World. And hey, would you look at that, the uncle's alive. Maybe now he can actually do something. Be useful, you fat fuck. And that was A Link to the Past, and I gotta be honest, it was a great game. Every time I turned on my SNES, I felt like an adventurer on a quest. Now the game may say the Master Sword now sleeps forever, but I'm pretty sure that whole thing is dissolved within the next game. So, the next time on the Zelda Chronicles, and yes, that's the name of this little series I'm doing, we're going to be looking at The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and my hair's been pink this entire time, hasn't it?